Did you hear this one about the person who died at a Disney Springs
I read that today.
restaurant? This is just such scumbag. They told them they couldn't sue Disney because of a terms and condition when you check like a box to buy Epcot tickets.
Really?
Yeah, people are pissed, as they should be, because that's ridiculous. Now they're going to look through the rest of that. What do you mean I got to blow Goofy? Like, what else is in there?
Maybe it's a flex. Like, watch this. Who
Oh,
cares?
what? You want to see what we're doing?
People die here. We don't care. You'll still come. Guess what? Losers.
It's like trading places. Bob Iger made a bet with Jeff Bezos.
Watch this. $1 million.
I bet I can kill people at my theme park and not suffer any consequences.
You're on. I'm looking into 1967 Chevy Impalas. You know, you think it's funny. I'm gonna show up at that.
I always wanted that car.
I'm gonna show up at your house one night. You're gonna say goodbye to your family, and we're gonna go stop the apocalypse. Just with a trunk full of guns and weapons and salt. Does it have to be kosher salt? Does it matter? Is that like extra strength?
Only for certain demons.
The Unchosen Ones.
Okay, let's just get right into this thing. Okay, there is a new level of pathetic out there. Brand new, just made. New level of pathetic.
Brand new.
I think it's reached a new low now. I really do. People that are giddy. They're giddy that a show that other people liked has been canceled. As if it's like it's become a sports team now, and their team beat our team. This is where we're at.
I can give you the devil's advocate version.
Devil's advocate.
That they want to see not this kind of stuff.
Right.
So if they get it canceled,
yeah,
they'll force the stuff they want.
Right. Yeah. Well,
That's
they want the unexistence of certain things.
So they can get their stuff.
Right. So they can get their stuff. But that's a false choice because they have so much fucking money. They can make all kinds of different shows.
Yeah.
Right. Not every show has to be tailored to your likes and this. There's other people on the planet. And people say like, oh, it got canceled because, it didn't have enough views. It has nothing to do with why people hated it. If it doesn't get enough views, then what are they going to do? Put money towards a show that doesn't get viewed. But they review bomb the fuck out of it. And don't tell me that stuff doesn't influence other people, because I've seen it online where people say, I didn't even watch because of all the bad reviews and all the hate towards it. I didn't even bother. Right. So that's what happens when they attack it like that from the get-go before it even came out.
Yeah. Well, how do they measure how successful their shows are?
My family, I was a Nielsen family once. It was the biggest bunch of bullshit that I've ever seen in my life. It was like a 90s beeper that you had to put on your belt and walk around with it all day long.
You had to put it on you? I thought it was on the TV.
Had a motion sensor. I tried that. I tried to scam it and put it just near the TV on a little stand.
That's what I thought it was.
No.
And it knew the channel that you were on.
No, it follows you around all day. That way it measures the radio. It knows by proximity with sensors and things like that. It's like, I look like a fucking drug dealer in the 90s walking around with this thing. And then my daughter had to have it, and she was only like, I don't know, she was like 8 at the time. They expected like an 8-year-old to walk around with this beeper.
They pay you for it?
They give you I don't know, if you went through the whole thing, it was like maybe $100, $200, a couple of $100 or something like that. You're right. It's like a jury duty fee. But I thought it was good. I was so excited. When I first got it, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. It would actually count what we're watching. But it was the biggest annoyance. You had to charge it all the time, and you had to keep it on you even when you were sitting on the couch. It would start to buzz at you because you didn't move. It had motion sensors on it.
Yeah.
And if you didn't move around, it would start to beep. It was, we did it for like 2 weeks, and I'm like, screw this.
If you're sitting down watching television, why would you be moving?
I don't know. It was the worst system I've ever seen.
That's how streaming services do it too? Still?
It was for everything. Yeah, that was the technology. It was like, I don't know. We did it like maybe 5-6 years ago, something like that.
They can't just tell who's watching, who's like logged in and what they're watching.
You would think that, they know. Disney knows on their end all the viewers from the. But how do you know how many people are sitting on the couch? We're watching one account, but 3 people are watching the show. So does that count it as 3 people?
But they only care about subscriptions.
Yeah, I know, but they need to know. They have the viewership. They say how many times it's been played But that doesn't tell how many times it's been played does not equal how many eyeballs are on the screen.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's a flawed system to begin with. But if we really want to get it back, I think we got to look to the Star Trek fans. I've seen them tweeting online. It's like, we've been through this. They're like, we know how this goes. We know how to do this. Follow us.
Why? What is the Star Trek thing?
Well, back in the original series, they canceled it. And then there was a huge letter writing campaign and they got it back. And then I think there were a couple of other series that they had Twitter campaigns for and stuff like that and petitions. Yeah. And they've successfully gotten back a few of their shows.
Parks and Rec, I think was.
Yeah, there have been others too. Yeah. What about the first season of the Next Generation series? That got panned the first season. Panned. Can you imagine if they just quit on the Next Generation? No Picard, no Riker.
It's a different fan base.
Yeah, I know. But can you imagine if that went away because of one bad season or supposedly bad season?
Everyone's got a knee-jerk reaction to things.
It's just, it's fine. You didn't like it. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Everyone can say, I liked it, I didn't like it, and express that opinion. But when you start to get to the point where you are now actively rooting for other people to not be able to watch it, that's just a new low. Yeah. Are they going to do this with the Skeleton Crew too? Because that's for kids.
If they don't like it.
To be actively like, oh yeah, you guys lost. That's the best. That's my favorite one. You guys lost.
Is that on there?
Yeah, I've seen it. People are saying that. You guys lost. What did we lose? It's a TV show. It's fine. We'll all be okay. I mean, to be that happy about it. Well,
I mean, they're clearly more, into it than some people are. It's more important to them.
I just think we're at an all-time low for the approval rating of fans. It's just, they're just shit. Fans are just shit.
They should have like a Yelp or a Rotten Tomatoes for fans.
Right. Let's judge fan bases. How about that? There's a brand new comic book series that DC is doing. It's supposed to be like the Marvel Ultimate verse that they have. I saw that. This is going to be the absolute verse. So they're starting with the Trinity, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. And there's a logo for the new Batman. And Batman's he's like a big hulking version in this one. He doesn't, I don't think he has any money. He's like a big, huge bodybuilder type guy. And the bat symbol they use, which is also a functional tool, that it's like a weapon. You can put it on, I think it becomes like an axe, something like that. They're ridiculing the logo as this is shit. The book hasn't even come out yet. And by the way, looking at it just at the logo flat like that doesn't do it justice, because when it's on his costume and he's moving around, it looks like it fits the character because it's a huge, hulking, kind of brute force Batman. And this fits that.
I can see it. I see the bat.
There's all these people walking around with they've never created a thing in their whole life, right? And they have all these notes. They're just as bad as the fucking producers on these movies with their notes.
It's the thing where they want something new, and then you give them something new, right? And they don't like it because it's like they don't give new a chance.
Everyone wants an executive producer credit on everything now, but everyone thinks they should be involved.
You got to give new a chance. Like you might not like new right away, but you got to let it play out.
And new especially with art. Right. There are lots of things that you look at like, maybe I don't know if I like that. And then, 5-6 years later, like, oh yeah, that's awesome. That's the best.
I see what they're doing with it though. It looks cool. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's badass. It's totally different. It gives you that, that sense of this Batman's might not let you live.
Right.
I mean, look, he didn't really put too much effort into his logo. He's not out there caring about how you see his costume. He's just going to beat the shit out of you. Now this is interesting. The X-Men 97 creator.
How do you say nothing wrong.
How do you say his name? Bo DeMaio.
That's what I.
Bo DeMaio, right? Yeah. This is getting it's getting a little weird. Like you don't know.
They still won't say exactly what he did.
It's like an onion. You got to peel a layer back each week. He's acting a little weird online. I mean, he is like a flamboyant guy.
Yeah,
and
he's a creative type. They're all weird.
Right. He's like super creative. He's a little flamboyant. That's fine. That's his personality. Yeah. This last season was genius. No one's going to question his creative ability. But they had some kind of him and Disney. Finally, the details are coming out because he apparently violated some mutual agreement between the two parties to not talk about stuff, and he violated it. And now Disney's released their part of it. Like, all right, well, we had an agreement, you violated it, so now here's all the dirty laundry.
It's because he tweeted that picture of Cyclops.
Yeah, Cyclops in like a scantily clad.
So let it go.
No, I think it's ridiculous too. Like there's female characters who wear less than that, but when you sign something though. Here's the thing though with people, like you signed something, all right? Yeah. They put it in front of you, you signed it, and then you violated it, and then you're like, hey, what the hell? Well, don't sign it then. Yeah. Okay? Don't sign it. If it's against what you think, then don't sign it. Why set yourself up for that?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, he signed it. And part of it was he wouldn't tweet out anymore. It wasn't about Cyclops in a bikini or whatever. It wasn't about that. It was about he wasn't supposed to put out any X-Men 97 material at all. Yeah. That was in the agreement, okay? Yeah. And on Disney's end, they agreed not to say, well, we fired you for sexual misconduct. They weren't talking about that. And he has not addressed it. Apparently, he sent lewd photos and videos, they're saying. So that's the accusation. But again, they had an agreement to both be quiet. And no matter what you think about his side of it, he violated it. Yeah. So now it all came out. All right. So now we'll see, now they'll go back and forth.
Why do I have to know any of this?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't give a shit about any of it. Right. So they fired him. Okay.
I know, but that's everyone knows everything today. Everyone knows everything about everybody.
But why does some people care? Obviously, that's why it's done. Right. Why does anybody care?
Yeah, well, it was supposed to stay. The point was that it was supposed to stay quiet.
Even when it gets out, it should still be quiet. Like how are you
going to do that?
Why does it get legs at all? Who gives a shit?
Because people are interested.
Why?
Because it's interesting.
Get a life.
Drama.
Guy got fired.
Yeah, but people want to know why, because he did such a good job on the show. What do you mean? Why wouldn't people be
the company
interested?
Fired him for some reason.
Yeah, but he's gone from a success. If the show sucked.
Clearly he did something if he was so good.
Yeah, of course he did something.
So?
But if the show was so successful, and then if the show sucked, then no one would have cared. But the show was great, so they're wondering, why do you fire the main creator of such a great thing? People are going to be interested.
Because he did something.
Yeah, but people want to know what he did. That's human nature.
I don't care. I don't have human nature then. I don't care what he did.
Well, we know this.
He's not in jail.
That's what the therapist told you.
Therapist is full of shit. That's why I keep going to new ones until I get the answer I want.
3 seconds in the new office.
Nope.
I'm out. Nope.
What I want to hear.
And on Twitter, he's like, I have more details that are he's like trickling them out. Like I have some more. Like stay tuned. It's a little weird. How he's acting about it, but
well, they said he had past allegations at his other.
Right.
Where did he write for?
He did The Witcher,
Moon Knight.
Yeah. He's obviously a good
writer.
Who
cares what he did? He's a good writer. Put him back to work. What's his name?
Free Bo DeMaio.
Free Bo DeMaio. Hashtag Free Bo DeMaio.
Saul Goodman's the lawyer. Listen, he's talented.
I hope he writes the next Star Wars thing.
Oh no, then everyone will say he sucks immediately.
Season 2 Acolyte, Bo DeMaio writes it.
That's everyone on board for that one then?
I am.
And then that goes into another really weird story. Did you hear this one about the person who died at a Disney Springs
I read that today.
Restaurant?
Oh no.
Yeah, there was a Disney Springs restaurant. They served them some food.
Oh yeah.
It was they told them that they were allergic to a certain thing. I don't know what it was. And then they served it with it anyway. And the person died. So they were suing, of course. You're going to sue. Yeah, as you should. And Disney this is like a real scumbag thing. But I can kind of see it from like a lawyer aspect of it. But Disney doesn't own or operate the restaurant in Disney Springs. They just sell them the land.
They're leasing.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. So they're not like responsible for the food or the employees or the manager or any of that stuff. So they told them that they couldn't, but this is just such scumbag. They told them they couldn't sue Disney because of a terms and condition when you check like a box to buy Epcot tickets.
Is that real?
Yeah, they really put stuff in there. Like you can't hold them. It's like super smart, but like that talk about Saul Goodman. It's like right up his alley.
I mean, it's all Disney premises.
But that there's no viable, legitimate court of law that should say you are immune from being sued because of a different product that you bought for tickets from how many years ago or how many months in the future. And even with Disney Plus, they have a thing on there with terms of you're a Disney Plus member. So now you can't sue us for anything that happens to you in any Disney park.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow, that's smart as
Yeah, but
shit.
it's failing because they had to pull it back. First of all, people are pissed, as they should be, because that's ridiculous. People are going to be like, now they're going to look through the rest of that. What do you mean I got to blow Goofy? Like, what else is in there?
Sell your soul.
Fucking Disney terms and conditions.
You got to give them credit, though. That's smart. That is smart.
We better be careful. We're not going to get our check in the mail.
No, they'll still get it.
Lose our shill credit.
She had an allergic reaction while entering the nearby Planet Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. They're probably going into Planet Hollywood to like look around. They already ate the food. It wasn't Planet Hollywood.
I believe it was something happened at Planet Hollywood.
I think it's all their fault.
Yeah.
That's terrible, though. I mean, can you imagine you go to Disney World and that...
Bad things happen all the time.
Unbelievable. But then now they had to pull it back, though, because first of all, horrible PR.
Well, I know, just pay them off. Like whatever it is, pay them.
They're like asking for like $50,000 or something like that.
I mean, you're not paying for Accolade anymore. Give them the Accolade money.
They make that by the time you start a theme park ride. By the end, they've made their $50,000.
Right. I mean, bury it. Bury the news.
Exactly.
Them.
Really poor decision on the Disney lawyer to like try to enforce that.
Yeah. Maybe it's a flex. Like, watch this. Who cares?
You want to see what we're doing?
People die here. We don't care. You'll still come. Guess what? Losers.
Someone made a bet. It's like Trading Places. Bob Iger made a bet with Jeff Bezos.
Watch this. $1 million.
That's the reboot of Trading Places.
Could you imagine?
Bob Iger and Jeff Bezos, and they make a bet that Bob Iger's like, I bet I can kill people at my theme park and not suffer any consequences.
You're on.
And Jeff Bezos bets him $1. I bet you a free Disney Plus subscription up against a free Amazon Prime subscription. And I want to be able to use it in multiple houses.
Yeah, it's a bit of a flex.
Let's switch it up a little bit. We haven't done any sports in a bit. So they have this new proposal, and everyone's hating on it right away. But if you really think about it, I think it makes sense. I really do, especially if you play fantasy baseball. It's a new 6-inning minimum for a starting pitcher proposal. Now, what do you think about that on its face value?
Yeah, I mean, it depends.
Exactly. The stipulations. So everyone was just going off on it because there's like,
even if you're hurt, right? Exactly. I don't care.
Prop him up. Get the wheelchair out.
That I'm for. If that I would like to see. Tommy John later pitch. He's just like hurling on a dead arm, flopping around. Roll it.
There obviously were stipulations. I was like, it can't be because of no matter what. Like, what if he's getting what if there's like 10 runs scored in the first inning and he can't take him out? No, you stay out there. Get the fuck back out there.
Well, they do that sometimes. They leave pitchers out there sometimes.
No, but the stipulations are that a starting pitcher that comes into the game is expected to pitch 6 innings. And the only way you can take them out is, of course, if injury. Mm. But if you do take them out for injury, they have to go immediately onto the IL list. No waiting a day. Immediate on the IL list. So you can't fake it injury.
Immediate prostate check.
So if that's why you're coming out of the game, you go right on the IL.
Wow.
No questions asked.
And that's 10 days right away.
Yeah, you go on, I think it's the 10-day list. Yeah, immediately. So the other stipulation, you would be allowed to leave early besides injury if you throw 100 pitches. So say, before you get to 6 innings, you got to 100 pitches. Now you're allowed to leave no matter what inning you're in. Yeah. Right? That makes sense. If you give up 4 or more earned runs, so say you get blasted the first inning. All right, you can get taken out. You give up 4 runs, right? But if you're at 5 innings and you've given up 3 runs, and you've pitched under 100 pitches, finish the fucking inning, man. Get 6. Get a complete, get a quality start. Be great for fantasy. If you're a fantasy proponent, be a lot better for starting pitching.
You know what they'll do? They'll just they'll have them pitch less games, or they'll have a bigger rotation.
Well, I bet you they would also be on the players union. I bet you they would ask for more money. Because now my client...
More money.
My client has to pitch more innings.
So sorry. You scumbag.
But I think that would cover everything, So if you get blasted, you can take him out. If you get to 100 pitches, you can take him out. And if you get injured, you can take him out. But otherwise, starting pitcher has to pitch 6 innings.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
I think it's good. I actually think it's good.
Let him play.
Yeah, right.
You think, a lot, does it change a lot? Does that...
Probably wouldn't change that much.
Yeah, I don't think it changes much of anything.
Not that much, except for maybe, you wouldn't...
Like a guy goes 5.2 innings and he gives up a walk and they take him out.
Right. Well, I guess it would be harder if you have a pitcher that you want to manage their innings for the whole season, Because then if you go out there, now you have to go 6 each time. And if they're good, they're going to. So then you're going to rack up those innings earlier in the year. So you might not have maybe a rookie, probably Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
Like Paul Skeens. If he goes 6 every time.
Yeah.
So he would have probably maybe been done by, maybe a month or two earlier than now, where they've been trying to manage his innings a little bit more.
Or they wait to bring him up.
Right. So maybe more pitchers they would wait to bring up in their first year because they don't want to put all those innings on their arm.
Right.
So it could affect that as well.
That's stupid too. When you bring a guy up, he should be ready to go.
Yeah,
leave him down there then if you can't pitch.
Yeah, but sometimes they need to see what about if a team is not doing well and okay,
then leave him.
No, they got to see what you have in the minor league talent.
Oh, you could see him in the minor leagues.
Oh, you're not going to be a GM like this. You're fired.
No one will hire me.
You keep applying.
I could GM the Mets. I bet. Do a pretty good job.
They have a sign outside of City Field.
Apply. Hi, now hiring.
GM, no experience required.
Please. Somebody.
Any applicants today, Deborah?
Nope. That one homeless guy.
Gary Busey came by. He seemed interested.
We don't know what he was talking about.
Okay, so I wasn't going to have any books today, but then in the mail, I got one today. So lucky you.
Fucking post office.
So it's just this one. Most people have already picked it up, but I only get one shipment a month to save on the shipping because I'm cheap.
How much is shipping on a comic book?
Well, if you only get one, so this one I got screwed on because it's $6 shipping. So I could have bought it on the newsstand for a lot cheaper, but I didn't order enough.
How much is the comic book?
The comic was less. Yeah.
More for the
4
shipping?
And change. Yeah, it was more for
ridiculous.
the shipping. Yeah, that's why it's not good to only have one in your...
I
only had one in my pull list this month. So that's on me. That's a bad choice.
Why not just order? I would order something else just to...
Yeah, but the deadline goes by and then you forget and that shipment's locked. So...
it's like a BMG thing?
Someone should do BMG and Columbia House for Comics.
Shut this off. First 7, you gotta buy 7
50
comics?
comics for a penny.
And
then you gotta buy 6 more comics at $132 a piece within 6 months.
I think that might work.
We should bring back Columbia House. Brainstorm some names.
What do they call the X-Men facility?
The X-Men House? No, Xavier's School for Gifted Children.
It's a little
youngsters.
It's problematic.
And you know who owns that now, right?
Disney.
Fucking Disney.
What are they doing in that place?
Xavier's Home for Gifted Youth.
That's what they call Epstein's Island.
Hi, I'm Professor Xavier. Welcome to my home for gifted youth.
Nope. Call the cops, Bill. Something weird going on here. This bald guy in a wheelchair. He's touching kids.
Why has he got a blanket over his lap?
Oh, I'm never going to watch that the same now.
So they made way too many of these. I thought I would just collect them until I had all of them. But of course, they saw it was so successful. So then instead of just for the anniversary year, they just kept it going. So I was like, okay, I'm quitting.
So they're not worth anything.
No, they're just fun. I just like them. I wanted to have the whole set. But apparently you have to keep buying forever until you're 90.
That's how they do it.
the set obviously will never be complete. So I just figured, okay, this will be the last one because actually I think it's the coolest one of all of them. I think they should do a Rip Dabs one with Donald. They should do maybe a Deadpool and Wolverine pose with one of the characters.
Is it just X-Men or it's all?
No, it's like it goes through all different characters. It's an homage to the Wolverine on the wall back there. So they're doing homages to big time covers from history.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Right? So I'm not going to use this now that you've seen it. I'm not using this one for Guess That Key, which we have been so honoredly. Honoredly is not a word. No, that's not it. So
Roadhouse.
There it is. You got me again.
You hit my quota.
Very cool that Sector 2815 at Sector 2815 on YouTube. He has this really cool show every week called Guess That Key. We'll have already been on it by the time this airs, so I hope we did good. Hope we didn't embarrass ourselves.
We like to apologize ahead of time.
Wouldn't it be great if we figured out like how we're going to screw it up and apologize?
Oh, we can do it now.
In the future?
We could just make up.
Let's just go through all the scenarios. I'm sorry I removed my pants at one point.
I'm sorry I lit myself on fire.
We'll just have a B-reel of all the scenarios of why we embarrassed ourselves on his show.
I'm sorry I triggered the apocalypse on your show.
Sorry I went on that racist rant.
Again.
But I hope we did a good job. Really cool for him to invite us on that show. Do you know what Sector 2815 refers to?
Do I?
I know, but you tell me.
Of course I know. But tell everybody.
That is the
of course.
That's a sector, Green Lantern sector. Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it's Earth's though.
Is it Florida?
The Green Lanterns of Florida.
It's the worst sector. Just like Green Lanterns in flip-flops and tank tops.
They use their rings to burn books.
They just fight alligators and mosquitoes. It's where they send like the really shitty Green Lanterns who didn't make it right.
Their rings don't work on the rainbow flag.
Their weakness is books, words. So I finally finished. I got up to through season 5 of Supernatural.
So you saw a swan song.
Yeah.
And?
I didn't like it. As soon as I shut it off. No, it's your fault though.
Well,
It's all your fault, as usual. Well, as soon as I saw it, I shut it off. I was unsatisfied. Because you told me that I could stop at 5 and it would be its own thing.
You can.
And it's complete.
It is.
So I'm supposed to stop with Sam burning in hell in a cage with Lucifer and Michael. I'm supposed to just let that be. And that's the end point? You a psychopath?
He sacrificed himself.
Yeah, but you can't just stop there.
But Dean got his happy ending.
Oh. What?
That was a different series, different channel.
That was Supernatural boobs. You watched
Supernatural OnlyFans. No, it could have ended there.
You could end it anywhere. It wouldn't have been a good spot to end it.
It was a perfect 5-season.
I did not want to end it there. Thank God they don't end it there.
Like the episode.
Well, then after, when I got rid of everything you told me, then I realized it was a good ending. Not listening to what you said.
You're only watching it because I told you to.
So what? You watch tons of stuff that I tell you to watch.
Yeah, like what?
Conan O'Brien?
You're taking credit for Conan O'Brien?
Yeah, you told me he sucked.
No, I didn't
and
say
I said,
that.
no, he doesn't. He has something.
That's
ridiculous. Yes, you did. I remember you walking into my room.
I'm not
you said he's not funny. Why do you watch that?
I'm not acknowledging
exact
that.
sentence.
No, that's
it's
wrong.
on tape now.
You'll never prove it. You'll never prove that. There were no recording devices, and you'll never prove that.
There weren't.
Well, no, he's the greatest late night host of all time.
Well, now you say that after I told you about him.
You'll never prove it.
Water, air, food. Those are all me.
No, but I'm glad you finally finished it. But you're going to keep going, right? You're going to keep.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to stop now.
Right.
How can you?
That was the best, though, when he showed up in the car. The importance of the car.
That was cool. Yeah, everything was there.
How great was that facet, the storytelling facet of the car?
Yeah, that was cool.
That was great. I saw the shirt. That is an awesome
Yeah,
shirt.
stock.
I'm going to get one of those too.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Can't.
What do you mean can't?
Bought all of them and I burnt all of them but one, like Swagglepuss, and now it's worth $1 million. This shirt now. This is the only one.
You should put it on eBay.
I get it signed first.
Oh, you get it signed while wearing it?
Yeah. Well, obviously. Right on the nipple.
Maybe we can go to MegaCon and wear them together.
Maybe not. Do they? I would
and then
like
go
to
get
go.
awkward autographs if they're there.
Could you sign at the same
Hi,
time?
guys. Guys, you've been online like 6 times. There's a max, okay? There's a
It's
max.
just their name all over it. I like that. And I didn't like the God thing pissed me off.
Why?
But-
That was awesome.
well,
Chuck, the prophet Chuck, he was God.
Well, it's very realistic because he did nothing for them the whole time.
But he was guiding them with the stories.
It was an awful story for them. All they did was suffer the whole time. And then he ended up in hell. Thanks, buddy.
That's God's way.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was realistic. That's what it is. What he does. He sits there and watches, then leaves, and then leaves the room like he did something. What did you do? He's in hell. Dean's miserable. What? Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the help. It was a nightmare.
Why you only got to focus on the bad things?
Like, it made him look like does nothing. Like,
There's more to it. You'll see.
yeah, well, not according to you. If I just stopped,
You didn't need to. That was their story. He
but
writes stories.
it was an awful story. They saved the world, and they got
Okay,
nothing.
but, I mean, if everything's just unicorns and
So he stops the apocalypse, and he just burns in hell for it for the rest of his life.
well, maybe it's not so bad down there. You don't know what it's like.
Well, season 6 says it's not that great down there.
Looks pretty terrible. Actually. Well, Dean spent some time there too.
Liked it though. He
Well,
liked
he
the
learned.
torture.
See, he learned to like it. See,
I think I'd be okay down there. I go right away to the torture. Like, hey, can I do this? Can I stop?
there's no rev up for you. You just get down. So, what weapons do I get to use? Who do I get to torture?
You could see Kripke. Like, you could tell where he was at.
Yeah.
Like, now they
If
say,
you're-
like, the boys is woke.
if
He's been
you're-
doing that.
Paying attention
He's been writing like that
and
his
you
whole life.
understand nuance,
Right.
right? You would have this is not a surprise that Kripke's show is the way
No.
it is.
That's how that
Yeah.
show was.
Yeah.
If you watched any of it, you
Right.
could see.
To be shocked means okay,
Right.
your absorption rate not great.
He's been making fun of those people for a long time.
That would be one of my if I had just unlimited funds, like I wouldn't buy like Porsches or Lamborghinis or any of that shit. I would buy movie or like TV cars. I'd have like a stable of those. I'd have 100% the Impala. 100%. I'd get one of those. My garage would be the Impala, DeLorean, of course. That's my number one.
Mhm.
DeLorean, Impala, Kit.
Yeah.
Kit's in there.
Ghostbusters car.
Ghostbusters car. Yes. thank
Scooby-Doo
you.
van.
And either Scooby-Doo van or A-Team van.
No. 18 van.
You need a van.
Get the Scooby. Do you? For what?
I don't want to talk about it.
Some people need a van.
We are Disney shills. But I think those would be my 5.
The Dukes of Hazzard car.
Well, it would have been when I was a kid, but then you learn things.
Problematic
You
now.
learn things, right?
You got to paint over it.
Right.
Just one section.
What about yours? What would be your garage? What would you have in your garage?
Just the Impala, I think.
That's it? Just one
Yeah.
car?
Yeah, that's the coolest car.
Oh, come on.
That's
What
my
about
favorite
Kit?
car. The Impala's kind of kit to me.
Not really. Kit's actually really dangerous. Have you ever seen that steering wheel? Like, that's
No.
ridiculous. It's not a full wheel. Like, how do you control the power steering? You just got to catch it when it comes back.
Oh, yeah, it's not like a full.
It's not a full
the
wheel.
Did you say the Batmobile?
Oh,
The
God.
Batmobile.
Duh.
The Batmobile's mine.
Oh, my God.
Stupid
Duh.
ass.
Forget the vans.
No, keep the vans. We might need the vans.
Obviously, Batmobile. And which Batmobile? Of course. There's actually
The
one-
Adam West Batmobile.
What?
Yeah,
No way.
sure. It's got those 2-seater.
The pig?
Yeah, that's a cool one.
What do you mean the Tim Burton Batmobile was 2-seater? He drove Vicky Vale.
But it's got those little like two window things.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Oh, the old one?
Yeah, the old one.
The windshields?
Yeah. Like the little loop windshields.
God, you can't pick that over the 89 Batman.
That's cool. Like someone sees you in that old one.
What?
That's cool.
The
It's vintage.
89 Batman one was built on a Corvette body.
Yeah.
It's a Corvette underneath there. That's the
It's
best
too big.
one. No, it's awesome.
You got to parallel park that thing.
That'd be imagine. That's the test. You go to the DMV and just old Bruce Wayne, crotchety Bruce Wayne sitting there. Get in there. And actually, my favorite Batmobile is not even a real Batmobile. It's the animated series Batmobile, which I think is even longer.
Yeah.
But that's my favorite Batmobile, animated series. But that's, you can't drive a cartoon car.
Well,
I've tried. It doesn't work out.
I like the Batmobile. A Batmobile and an Impala. That's it. You're not driving the Ghostbusters car around. What kind of weirdo?
Well, you could use it as the hearse that it was originally supposed to be for. What if you were that? Now that's a nerd funeral.
Like, could you imagine that procession? What they call it?
That's commitment. That is commitment.
When someone dies, they should do that.
Put that in their will.
Like top nerd.
Yeah, top. That would be you're the top nerd ever.
Like when Chris Hardwick dies, that should be his.
It's in your will. You got to take me to the cemetery in the Ghostbusters car, and I want to have the proton pack, all 9 yards.
The 21 gun salute with proton packs.
The full Monty. Yeah, right. With the 21 gun salute. And of course, because it doesn't exist, they're all just pretending.
Yeah, you make the sound.
You make the sound.
It's the biggest loser funeral ever.
I'm putting that in my will.
I'm not going.
You have to secure the car and all the details.
Oh, good luck. Good thing you'll be dead. So you won't see the disappointment that's going to...
I will haunt you. And then you'll really need the Ghostbusters.
I might be on the run because I killed you. I don't know if you want me doing that. I'm going to pick someone who likes you.
I got to put provisions in my will in case I was murdered by Dave.
You just not get to plan the funeral.
Then please see, Section 5, subsection 2A. Now, here's something where it was originally panned and now is getting, as it ages, it's getting more of a shine on it. People aren't as harsh on it. The Age of Ultron movie to begin with was always looked at as maybe like the worst one.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of people don't like Age of Ultron. They don't like it. And they, especially in the beginning, did not like James Spader as Ultron. They thought he was too comedic. And he was supposed to be an evil AI Tony Stark. That was why it made sense. And Spader delivered those lines perfectly.
He does everything.
Yeah,
perfectly.
He's an amazing actor. Yeah. But as people have watched it more and they got whatever Ultron they thought they were going to see out of it, and look in the story, it made a whole lot of sense for Ultron to act a bit like Tony. That's why he was so upset with him. That gave him that motivation. Like, how dare you? I'm not a copy of you. He got so upset. He cut off Gollum's arm because he got so pissed at that. He lost his shit. Yeah. So people are actually, I've seen more positive trend towards Age of Ultron. And now he's going to be back in the Vision series, which is going to be, that's going to be great.
We'll see.
I reserve judgment.
We'll let everyone else tell us whether it's good or not.
Yeah, maybe just give up trying to, is this going to be great? You know what? You guys just tell us. The best scene in that whole movie is when Vision and the last Ultron satellite robot is left, and they have that little conversation. Yeah. Like, that was fucking gold, man. Spader and Bettany talking, intellectually like that. I want more of that. If there's more of that in this show, that's going to be awesome. Because that was the best part of that whole movie.
Well, there's too much of that. There's not enough of that.
But one of the greatest quotes, I believe, as well.
But a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts.
Great quote. Deep. That's deep.
Someone say that?
I don't know if who made it up.
Must be a quote.
Let's see.
Kid Rock. Can you imagine? Just the big takes a dump on it. Oh.
Oh no, that's problematic. Oh yeah, I think it's an original quote.
No.
The Russo brothers didn't do that one. That was actually Whedon.
Whedon did that movie? The whole movie?
Yeah, Whedon directed, and he was the writer.
And he did the first Avengers?
He did, yeah.
Do you think he did a better job than the Russos?
No, of course not. No, the Russos did the best Marvel movie ever.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Oh, they did Winter Soldier.
Yeah, they did Winter Soldier.
And they did Endgame.
And Infinity War.
And Infinity War.
Yeah.
Whedon didn't do a bad job, though.
No, he really didn't.
Why don't they bring him back?
I think he has some issues as well.
Everybody's got issues.
The Justice League people didn't like him very much. They had major problems with him, especially Cyborg.
Maybe it's their problem.
I don't know. They're kind of getting he's kind of getting a reputation.
I wanted to see a movie. I want Josh Whedon to direct a movie that Bo writes. The most problematic movie of all
Dynamic
time.
duo.
Starring Kevin Spacey.
It's like an Expendables, but for people with like legal
For
problems.
garbage.
Bryan Singer.
Bryan Singer could produce.
A bunch of people come out. Finally, a movie for me.
Funded by Harvey Weinstein.
And introducing Mel Gibson.
Introducing.
And the Craven trailer dropped. What'd you think about that?
Yeah, I don't have any interest in the character.
I have zero like expectations.
Yeah.
Like because the Sony movies are just basically trash.
Yeah.
I mean, I can watch them, I can watch them. Like the Venom movies are, I like mixed about that because I really like Tom Hardy's. Now there you go. Tom Hardy, right?
Yeah.
Everyone trashed his Bane voice in the, in like some of the leaked footage that came out.
Mm.
And they say, what is he sounding like? And even after it came out, people were like, what was it? That is now revered, that Bane voice.
Well, in the same movie, when Bale came out with the Batman voice.
Oh, that was horrible though.
Was it?
Yeah.
I liked it.
His Batman voice in the first one was okay, moderate.
Yeah.
But his Batman voice in The Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises is laughable.
Is it really? I gotta watch it.
Where's the trigger? Where is it? You never give it to an ordinary citizen. Where is it? Where's the trigger?
Like it's like a Pete Holmes sketch. It's that bad.
Some stuff happened. You sucked my dick. How was that, by the way?
Are you done?
I hadn't showered that day, and I fight crime in a rubber suit. Really seals in the flavor. Oh.
You got method.
Yeah, you get Matthew right. He's one of those method guys. Yeah. Oh, Batman goes and orders his Starbucks cream latte.
I didn't notice. I'll have to watch it again. They said something like where if Sony uses a guy, Marvel can't use him.
There's a whole bunch of contractual bullshit.
Oh no, we can't use Craven. You think they're like, oh no, they were mocking him. Oh no,
Kevin Feige sends a bunch of emails.
What are we gonna do? We can't use Craven.
Feige's actually he's like a bully online. He says, "Oh, you got Craven there, huh? What are you gonna do with Craven?
He hunts. He's a good hunter. Oh no,
he likes animals, does he? Like pussycats?
You doing a Steve Irwin movie? Is that what you're doing?
I actually thought though the trailer looked pretty good. Violent.
It's fun. I mean, if it's on TV, I'll watch it. I'm not like
violent. Yeah, I'm not
search
gonna.
for it.
I'm not gonna go. This is where I'm gonna see this on an airplane. 100%.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it on an airplane. I know I am. And there better be a fucking Spider-Man connection in there. And a
the
good
Rhino's
one too.
in it. I think.
Yeah, Rhino's in it. But I want a real Spider-Man connection. Something. I don't care if they even just allude to it, but I want a real fucking connection.
How about like Peter Parker's name in a paper somewhere?
That's good. I'll take that.
That's what you're gonna get.
I'll take that. That's fine. I want to know that it's fully and 100% connected. I mean, we know it is, but I want recognition in the film.
Can they just sell it already and get rid of it?
The Spider-Verse guys, I think, are going to be the new studio runners for Sony. So maybe
why don't they let them run everything?
Well, I think maybe it'll get better now because they're in charge.
This is such a mess, though. Like this studio can use this guy, this one can't. Pain in the ass.
I mean, but we're spoiled though because remember how it used to be.
I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care?
I want it how I want it now.
Now you have all the X-Men and all the Avenger characters are all now able to do.
That's good.
Yeah, that's great. And I bet you, with the relationship Feige and Gunn have, I bet you we get a DC Marvel crossover someday. I bet you we do because there's too much money not to do it.
They were saying they're talking about Avengers verse.
Like, they're not going to leave that on the table.
Justice
Can you
League.
imagine? I mean, it'll be good or bad. 100 million first night.
It's going to cost $1 billion to make.
It'll be a very expensive movie.
All new characters?
No, it's got to be. What do you mean new characters?
I mean, all new. You're going to cast it with new actors?
Well, it's got to be the characters who are in the current day films and shows.
Yeah.
Whenever they get around.
Not if it's just a one. Do you do a one-off?
Yeah, I think it's I don't think it's a multiple. I think it's
so it could be its own universe.
I think it's one movie. Well, in the comics, they got thrown into each other's universes.
Yeah.
They crisscrossed and then they made amalgam characters where they were
How do you do a
half
movie?
and half.
That's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, 3 hours. But you get Zack Snyder.
Oh, Please, no.
Did
God.
someone say 3-hour movie?
Pops his head out. So- no, Zach. Go away. There's no way that's good. There's no way they can make that good.
You don't think it can be good?
I don't think so. I think it's like trying to put on the Infinity Gauntlet. Like it's just you can't control it.
But they did do the Infinity Gauntlet.
No, actually putting it on your hand.
Oh, the real thing,
Yeah,
the
they're
real
like-
device.
Yeah, you would burn up. Like it's too much. It's too much power. There's no way.
I think they'll do it one day. I think it'll happen.